We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Today, you do not have the privilege of seeing Eduardo's beautiful face. Eddie is hiding for unbeknown reasons to myself. Care to share, Eddie?
Yeah, totally. I totally don't have some crazy shit like on my lip or anything. Okay, just chill, fuck out. I'm just fucking with you. I wish my camera worked. That's what I'm saying.
You've got ringworm on your face.
That's what I'm saying. You know what's fucked up? That's a real thing.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's a real thing. I had this one dude. We were at the last tournament I went to. Dude was walking around with a big like a patch on his face, like right on his cheek, and I was like, and I remember I got curious. I asked him, like, "Hey man, you all right? Did you get hurt? You know, in the tournament?" He's like, "No, I didn't compete today." But I got ringworm on my cheek, and I'm like, "Bruh, how did you do that?" Yeah. And he's like, "I don't even know." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "You nasty motherfucker." That's what that is.
Yeah, that's some. You need to wash your mats, bro. Like,
yeah, that's. I don't know where he trains at. It ain't at my gym because at my spot, fucking 18 times a day we're mopping that bitch.
You must be literally rolling your face in a puddle because there's just no way you can just get that.
You know what that is? That's either like an ankle pick takedown or he got arm drag right on his face like multiple times and got ringworm from some like nasty cutty out on him.
I'm not about
that. Be fucking clean, motherfuckers. Don't be an asshole.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna train in any kind of combat sports or physical interactive sports, please take care of your like own bodily kind of hygiene. Like there's nothing worse than rolling with somebody or even sparring with somebody who's
gross.
Funky.
Yeah, it was great. You know, the fucked up thing is when you roll with somebody who clearly did not wash their gi after like yesterday's class. You know those guys that wear the same fucking gi for every single class and they go every day? Like, dude, at least wash it overnight or something, dude. Do something, vinegar or something. Light it on fire. I don't know what to tell you, but just fucking clean it.
Just get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, it was a weird one this weekend because like there was MMA, but it was a good weekend as far as like some of the events that were on. Like UFC Japan was awesome.
You know, I didn't get to watch almost any of it because I ended up training and doing a bunch of stuff I had to get done. But I did catch the main event and I caught the Gadelha fight, which I was surprised that I wasn't. Jessica Andrade is a bad bitch. But
I agree.
That was fucking, I don't know, that was nutty, man. That was nutty. But yeah,
I'm saying this about Jessica Andrade though. Yeah. Is she a bigger threat at 125 though?
At 125?
Yeah, when that opens up.
Fight at 115 or 125?
She's at 115 right now, obviously, because she's number one in the rankings now. The updated rankings, she's number one above Rose Namajunas and Carolina and all that. Which I find that so strange. Like, I don't know, man. I always find it really weird. And I know we always complain about the rankings, but I understand that she beat the quote unquote number one in the rankings, but it's like Rose is competing for it. So shouldn't she still be below Rose? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She, you know what? It's really weird. But if we're talking about 125, right? Ooh. 125. I don't know if she's like a bigger threat. I mean, to what? To JJ? Because we're assuming that's what's going
to anybody. Just imagine she'll be bigger in mass. She won't have had to have cut as much.
Right.
She's only competed at 135, so she's not scared of bigger chicks.
Sure.
I'm just saying. And imagine the power that she's going to have with 10 pounds added on.
Power, the cardio's going to still be there. She'll be scary. She'll be scary. I think if Jędrzejczyk moves up, though, I think she'll stay.
What, at 115?
Yeah. That's a better shit. Look, come on. Do you think Jessica Andrade was JJ? Because I don't think so.
I don't know, but it's an interesting principle to kind of look at because you think,
sure.
I don't know, because it's a weird one because you never know how much a weight cut affects each individual athlete.
Right. Everyone's different.
Whoa, your mic's all kinds of.
Oh, shit. Hold up a second.
It's like underwater.
All right, so shitty is it? All right.
It's still underwater, bro. You're swimming.
All right. Let me switch it up to the default while I figure this shit out.
You sound a lot better there.
Yeah, because I got my pro mic on here, but I haven't used it in like fucking year almost. So I'm gonna switch over to my backup mic while we're talking. But here's the thing, like it's for Andrade to take on Jędrzejczyk, she's gonna need more than just size and speed and cardio, man. So I'm gonna switch over to my you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it'll be a very interesting thing to kind of see where she stands as far as like with um with the weight cut. There's a lot of people who, you know, tend to do a lot better when they don't have to do that weight cut. And, you know, maybe JJ is, you know, that a bad bitch at 125 and she knocks more people out because she has that more mass to be able to do that. Maybe. But then you think to yourself, I don't know, maybe the weight cut is just too much for Jessica, so she's that little bit slow because she doesn't have the energy at 125. She might be a little bit quicker, and those shots that JJ was, you know, just slipping out of the way, maybe one of those shots doesn't get slipped.
I don't know. I think Andrade is gonna be one of those fighters that can move up and down pretty handily, like without too much trouble, right? Like I'd like to see like how hard the cut is on her right now. You know what I mean? Like that'd be interesting to see how hard it is on her because she looked great. She looked fucking good. Like she didn't look drained at the weigh-in. She didn't look bad at all. She looked, you know, like she had energy still. And obviously during the fight, she was able to take on Gadelia, who, by the way, looked tired as fuck to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it looks pretty weird. But like she said, she's been fighting a long ass
Dude,
time.
was it 3 fights in 10 months or something like that? Some nutty number?
Exactly.
Like, dude, come on, man. Someone should have told you to take a break.
I don't know. The thing is, though, is like Gadelia's not getting, what's the word? Like the weird thing is about these lower weights, for the most part, most of them don't get TKO'd or knocked out. So it's like they're not getting that kind of impact trauma, but they're getting that repeated like rattling. And you've got to think sometimes maybe that's just taking a toll on some of the people that are in these smaller weights, and that's why they need a little bit more of an extended break.
Right, and then a lot of it too. I mean, look, going through a training camp is a motherfucker. Going through 3 training camps in 10 months. I mean, think of what goes into a training camp: high intensity training, constant cardio, cutting, 3-4 workouts a day for the best, the ones that can handle it. Right? Oh, you're on that fucking liquid cocaine again, dog. I see that shit.
I'm not on MMA. If I was on that MMA drink again, for the people who didn't see in the last episode, I found a Eastern European energy drink called MMA. It said kick out fatigue, and I was just like, okay, fuck it, we're only a 250 ml, bear that in mind, that's a small ass can. I wolfed that down like a mother, you know what I mean? And then when I had it, this is at like 10:30 at night, usually I can take energy at 10:30 at night, and I'm usually okay till about 2 o'clock, and then I'll go to sleep. Nah, I didn't go to sleep till 4:30 in the morning. I was up at fucking 9 o'clock the next day. I was literally just like, what the fuck did I take? I felt like I was Fedor.
you took a fuck you in a can. That's what that was. Stay awake, bitch. You ain't going to sleep. We're not fucking around. Hey, those fucking Eastern Europeans are not fucking around. They will beat the shit out of some exhaustion. They don't give a shit. You're fatigued? Eat a dick. Drink this shit and stay up forever.
It was like it was an Icarus to the fucking face. That's what it was.
Right? That's just so crazy. I showed that documentary. For those that don't well, you guys have obviously CrossFit's worldwide. You guys have CrossFit now over there, right? Yeah. So CrossFit, I train. That's how I work out. I'm a high cardio guy, especially for a guy my size, and I enjoy CrossFit. It's fun for me. You know, I'm not one of those idiots that blows my fucking knees out because I'm an asshole. No, I'm careful with that shit. All right, that's the thing. CrossFit gets a bad rep because of that. Because fucking assholes are the ones that get hurt. But regardless.
Literally, assholes get blown out. Anyway.
Exactly. Assholes get blown out. Too heavy on the squat, bitch. Cut it out. No. But so we were watching like a replay of the games. They have these CrossFit games, usually, you know, in the States, in California, they have a lot of them. And I was fucking around talking about, man, everyone in there is on steroids. There's no way that nobody's there on steroids, right? And there's some like people in my gym that are like hardcore CrossFitters. And they're like, hell no, those guys are all natural, man. They test them. And so I did a little research. No, they don't. They don't test them very much at all. So why don't you go watch some Icarus and get your dreams blown away, bitch? Like,
it's just unbelievable that people could think that these kind of guys are not on steroids. Like, the thing is though, is you know what? When it comes to stuff like that, do it. I really
go for it.
Like, you go ahead and stick a million needles into your ass. You just go ahead and just smash that ass with all them needles. Don't be scared. I'm okay with it because you're not hurting anybody. And you know what? I don't even mind seeing it. You know, if you want to see jacked up dudes and chicks just fucking gish, like, cool. whatever, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I used to watch the I don't know if they do it in the States at that time. At New Year, there's like it's kind of like a traditional thing over here that always at New Year's, Christmas time, there's the World's Strongest Man, and they always put it on. It's like one of they show the tournament as it progresses throughout that kind of Christmas, New Year's week, and it's just a thing that's always on at that time in the UK. And it's got all the biggest dudes, all the fucking world's strongest, from fucking Kazakhstan to the States to fucking doing all these stupid challenges. Yeah. And I look at every last one of them and I go, yo, these guys are jacked. And I'm fine with it because it's like I'm looking at monsters. I'm not looking at people like hurting each other. They're literally picking up boulders and pulling trucks and shit. And I'm like, it feels like I'm watching a film. It's not real to me. So it's like, cool, you go ahead and do that. Like, you go and take as many steroids as you want. I do have a problem when it comes to people who are doing it in contact sports.
Sure. Yeah. Fuck that shit.
That's what
Mind you, Jiu-Jitsu. And let's talk about that in a second. But the thing about that, steroids in combat sports, no, hell no. Okay. In any combat sports, if you're gonna make any kind of contact with another human being and you're on fucking roids and you hurt them, there should be some charges on your ass. Fuck that. That's some fucked up shit. However, powerlifting, CrossFit, swimming for all I give a fuck, sprinters, the fucking hit the ball with a stick game. Yeah, jack the fuck up on that shit. I don't give a shit.
I've got to throw something, a little spanner into your works with the ball and stick one. Did you see that guy who nearly killed that girl? That little girl.
With the baseball? Yeah, he fucking... Okay, so for anyone that didn't know, I forgot the dude's name, but I saw the highlight or the low light on fucking ESPN. Dude hits a fucking line drive right to the side and decks his little girl right in the face with his baseball.
And then the crowd... 3 miles an hour.
Dude. And I don't know if you ever thrown a baseball around. That bitch is heavy and it's fucking hard. Like, you get hit with that, like, you're going to have a bad fucking day. And this little girl got smacked with it. I haven't seen, like, where her condition is, but she was not doing good last I heard.
Apparently, she's okay, but she was hurt. You know what I mean? She was as good as she could be from being hit with a ball that's going 3 miles an hour.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. That's fucking crazy.
That's the thing, though. That's where you should have nets. I'm sorry. I know people like to see the ball fly into the stands, and I know fans like to catch it in baseball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But fuck that noise. Like,
you would think in 2017, with the game being over 100 years old, you would think that would have been a thing by now. Hey, how about we put some nets in here just so we don't have to deal with this shit here? And it's going to end up taking this little girl getting her face bashed in or someone else getting hurt or killed to make that happen.
Imagine if they'd killed the kid.
Yeah. What if, right?
Man, that'd have been absolutely messed up. But
now let's talk about ADCC real quick. Just real quick.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
By the way, I'm actually a Gordon Ryan fan.
Yeah.
People hate this motherfucker. I didn't know they hated him this much. I thought it was like Dylan Dance was like the only hated motherfucker in jiu-jitsu. No, it turns out Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin, everyone from that camp is hated. Yeah. And I don't understand it. I'm a fan. Fuck that shit. You know what? Gordon Ryan is my McGregor. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. But I'm a fan. Fuck it. That being said, how the fuck do you go from a little normal looking skinny fuck in February to jacked to the gills?
I don't think he was a skinny dude. Like, let's not say
he wasn't. He wasn't. No, but he wasn't.
No,
like, he wasn't nowhere near.
You're making out that he was like a 115er and he's gone up to 170.
Oh no. But he was. But he was a normal looking guy.
Yeah.
Now his abs have abs. It's fucking crazy.
Saying this. There's a big difference. This is one thing I'm going to throw out there. I'm not saying that he's not, enhanced in any kind of way. But I will say this. You look at how much money he's been getting from winning like the EBIs, which is like 25 grand.
Yeah.
The difference, if I said to you, right, your daily training and everything like that and your daily living and stuff like that, you do not have to, and bear in mind seminars and stuff like that from winning an EBI, you can go out and do, like he's been doing some in Finland and, all over the place. Now, imagine all that money, and now you don't have to have a part-time job. You don't have to have a full-time job. You can literally dedicate all your time to doing that, and all that money can be getting you exactly what you need, whatever you need, whether it be food, supplements, whatever the case may be. But you have that luxury. You don't have that when you're working full time and you only get to train for maybe 5-6 hours a day, if that.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing the
well, look, I'm not saying he shouldn't, that I don't understand. I understand. That being said, that's a combat sport. You would think that by now ADCC would have been testing these motherfuckers a little bit.
I'll say this though, at the end of the day, and
dude, he manhandled Abreu. He manhandled Cyborg Abreu, and not just work things out. He manhandled them and then took his fucking ankle home.
This is the thing though with jiu-jitsu, and this is the kind of, it's at a crossroads.
Right.
It's at a crossroads. Because if we're being completely fair, jiu-jitsu has not been as respected as it should have been, for the past 15 to 20 years in the context that it should be. And as competitively, it's kind of always been on the back burner, even in comparison to, say, judo and karate and taekwondo, in the grand scheme of national combat sports, in comparison, when you look at them being in the Olympics and whatnot. But there's more excitement with watching a jiu-jitsu bout, even in gi, compared to, say, like wrestling, or compared to, say, like judo, because you're going for a finish.
Right.
Now we're seeing this submission only era come into it, and it's becoming, a spectator sport. Like, you don't have to be, knowledgeable in jiu-jitsu to watch combat jiu-jitsu. You don't have to be knowledgeable in sub only, because you can watch and you can see, because you're like, he's going for the ankle, he's going for the arm, he's going for the neck. Obviously there's subtleties, and people are going to try and work for little tricks, little traps and all that kind of stuff, but that's irrelevant. The point being is we're at this crossroads now where jiu-jitsu is popular, and these organizations that have been barely probably breaking even, maybe just tipping over into the fucking green, now they can make tons of cash because they know Gary Tonen's going to be there, Dylan Danis is going to be there. You know what I mean? Like, all these names, these new names, these star names, these names for the modern fan who are willing to pay to go to these events, they're not gonna put the blocks up and prevent certain people from going there. That's just how it is for now.
Just like CrossFit. You don't want to fucking kill your golden goose. CrossFit's getting big right now. I mean, it's big. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. More and more people are training. More and more people are signing up for CrossFit because they see how jacked these guys and girls are, and they're signing up. They don't think about the fact that maybe they're juicing some shit. You know what I mean? And CrossFit's not about to kill their cash cow either. I mean, look what happened at Tour de France. You haven't heard about it. No one gives a fuck. Ever since Lance got busted, nobody gives a shit. You don't think maybe Tour de France goes, fuck, we should have not let Jeff Nowitzki fucking sniff around looking for Lance Armstrong? I guarantee they're thinking about that. Like, fuck, we shouldn't have done that.
With the same context said, I think that you will see a development, because as far as like sub only, it's a very kind of modern and new concept. And, there's a lot of people, we've spoken about this before, there's a lot of people that are very against the EBI style of ruling, and the purists, a lot of them aren't keen on it. But at the end of the day, it's evolution of the sport, and you either evolve with it or you get left behind. And the organizations, the smart ones, are going, we need to fucking roll with this. We need to roll with this, otherwise we're going to fucking die off. Because if there's no ADCC, then EBI becomes a bigger thing. Submission Underground becomes a bigger thing, because more and more, they're getting traction. Like, I have to admit, the next sub only, this next Submission Underground, I couldn't give two flying fucks about. I really
Who's
couldn't.
on it?
It's the one with fucking hell, what's his name? The AJ.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Everyone hates that dude too.
I'm not. It's not that I hate him. It's just I have no.
No. I mean, everybody else, like, people hate this dude.
He's competing against a former UFC guy as well, and I can't remember what the fuck it is. New Yorker. I think it was from Brooklyn. Old guy. Fuck. Pat. No, is it Pat? I'm gonna find this. I'm pulling up the Submission Underground thing. It's against Phil Baroni.
Oh Jesus, why?
Come on, like, why do we got to see Phil fucking Baroni?
I'm done with Phil. I've been done with Phil for years.
I rest my case, and that's the main attraction as far as it's all concerned. And considering the past ones, I'm not saying that they were like thrilling jiu-jitsu bouts, but at least they piqued your interest from a new company. Whereas EBI, when you've been watching them, you watched it, the early ones anyway. Obviously, it's developed over the years now. But you looked and you went, I'm going with that guy. Don't know why. Gonna go with that guy. He goes to this club. I'm gonna rep that club. This is who I'm. You know what I mean? Academy. I'm gonna associate with them. And then as you start developing, you start seeing the same guys around. And you get bonds, and that's how like EBI's developed. Whereas I don't feel like Submission Underground are trying to build for the future. It feels like they're kind of just putting. It's kind of like a spectacle.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I really am. But I just, if we're gonna be talking about we need to clean up all sports and everything's gotta be straight and fair, you gotta make everything straight and fair, or accept the fact that you don't want a super clean sport and just deal with it. But no bitching later on. You know what I
mean? With that same thing said, I do find it hilarious though that you like Gordon Ryan, you like Gary Tonin. I really do find it amusing.
That I like them? Why?
Yeah, like their personalities and the way that they carry themselves.
Oh, they're douchebags. 100% douchebaggy. All right. But they're fun as fuck to watch.
Oh, I agree.
It's just like Connor. You know what I mean? Total dickwad. I find him hilarious and he's fun to watch. I'm not, there's no buts about it. You know what I mean? But I think they're the two guys in jiu-jitsu that I can think of off the top of my head that have brought in the promotion aspect of it. So much so that they're hated for it, and they love it. It's working for them. You know what I mean? Fucking Gary Tonin, he competes against Dylan Dennis. Fucking dyes his hair blonde. Okay, genius. Okay, Gordon Ryan, same shit. Fucking hilarious. That's the kind of shit I like to watch. Guys that are high level fighters, grapplers, whatever you want to call them, and are entertaining. Except they actually fight. It's not WWE. Let's clear that out of the way right now. By the way, I saw fucking on YouTube. There's a video of like Brock Lesnar getting thrown around by some hairy guy. What the fuck?
Braun Strowman. Yeah, it's just that kind of thing of like he's the next, monster, and this the kind of he's deemed the monster among men, and Brock Lesnar. Yeah, but it's that kind of portrayal of like Brock's the beast, but then there's this bigger one. Can he overcome? And he did. So, but
wait, who quote unquote won this shit?
Brock, obviously.
Oh, okay, all right.
But with that same thing said, if you want to see something really bad, you want to see Cesaro, who got thrown into, where the turnbuckle is on the actual corners of the ring where the ropes are tied to? There's that metal post, isn't there, behind it where they connect the actual turnbuckles to?
Yeah.
He got thrown into that. His front teeth hit that, and he cracks 4 of his teeth along the front, cracks them all.
Oh, I bet he was pissed.
Blood pissing out of his mouth and all down his face. Beautiful.
I bet he was mad as fuck.
It's an accident. Shit happens. These guys are tough guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you ever get a chance to, you can see AJ Styles knocking out the Miz's teeth, and he hits him with a spinning back fist, literally like a spinning back fist as part of his like combination that he does. His forearm, and you literally see teeth, and there's like 4 teeth literally fly out of his mouth. That's
hilarious as fuck. Now with
and these guys are fake, I'm not saying that they're real, but I'm saying these guys get fucking hit.
That's the thing too. When people talk about, it's fake, it's fake. No. The outcome is known. It's choreographed as much as it can be choreographed. That being said, it's still physical as all fuck. So you got to respect those guys for that. That being said, that's when people say, "Oh, are you watching the people take it too seriously? They think it's an actual fight. All right, get the fuck out of here." But I understand that people buy into the theater of it and the story of it. That's how you watch it, right? The storyline.
Exactly. It's the case of seeing, well, we can talk as much shit as we want about these guys and whatever, but Ken Shamrock did it, Baz Rutten did it. There's Brock's obviously doing it and did it before, obviously, when he came to MMA. There's a load of guys that have, transitioned and stuff like that. But with that same thing said, I went to see Ken Shamrock at a meet and greet, and as you sat around and this, that, and the other, that people are throwing out the questions and stuff like that. And he said, out of anybody in the entire world, who's the person that you would never want to fight in MMA or in WWE, just real life, actual want to fight them? And one guy chanted Brock Lesnar. And he turned around and said, I would have fought against Brock Lesnar back in the old days. I think, I could have had a chance. I don't know. But there's one guy, bar none, I'd never want to fight against. WWE, UFC, point blank, would never want to fight against him. And the name of this gentleman is the infamous WWE wrestler Haku. Haku is a Samoan. Haku is a Samoan. If you're not familiar with him, just type in his name, Haku, like Haku. Big Samoan dude, big throw, legendary guy for being arguably the toughest guy ever, just ever. Like everybody has these stories. He's like a myth. He's like a fictional character, but he apparently kicked everybody's ass, and nobody. If he said that something's going to happen, that's what's happening. Nobody said anything to Haku. He was like the fucking general, and there was like all these mythical things and like folklores of him like ripping out somebody's eye, and there's some serious shit said about Haku, but Haku is a scary motherfucker. And anybody who I've ever heard ever talk about him, it's weird because, when you think about these wrestlers, they're going to be like, oh, I wouldn't have ever wanted to fight against The Undertaker in real life. Oh, you know what I mean? You always go, all right, then. Everybody says Haku, though. Everybody. It's not even like one of those things that like, it wasn't even a top guy. It wasn't even like a big superstar where people would be like, oh, yeah, he was a really scary guy. And so he was like, nah, kill people.
Yeah. No, there's those guys that are just a step above, just tough guys, right? It's like, you can take on a high skilled guy and you could beat him. You know what I mean? You can make a plan to beat him. It's the guys that are ridiculously tough that dudes don't want to fight. Like Robbie Lawler, for example, is one guy a lot of people avoided fighting for a long time. You know what I mean? Until recently, now everyone's lining up after fucking Tyron Woodley lit us up. Yeah. After Tyron Woodley lit him up, now everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll fight Robbie." Like, the fuck out of here.
All I know is Haku is as Samoan as it gets, as far as like traditional tough guy Samoan. So take that as what you will, but for the most part, anybody who's ever met a Samoan, they're not the ones. They're not the ones.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I live with a couple one Samoan dude in particular, and he's a fucking bad motherfucker. Okay,
as fuck, like jacked, and they're usually
big dude.
They're just naturally big dudes.
Yeah, and they can handle a lot of weight, so it's kind of crazy.
There was a guy who came over from, I can't remember where specifically, but I think he was Samoan but lived in Australia, and then he came over to England for like the rugby.
Right.
And he lived around here, and he played for one of the teams that's local to us. And like rugby's a semi-biggish thing in the UK. But this guy, when he came to my kickboxing club, like he was the father of one of the girls who used to train, and he came through the door, and you just saw him. You were like, no, you're not allowed to get any pads on. You're not allowed to spar. You have to just sit and watch. So I'm sorry.
I'd have been like, hey, guess what? Dude, you're allowed to leave. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm not about that life.
Yeah,
but that same thing said, you brought up something. You mentioned the name, so we have to have the conversation.
Yep.
Do you think that Conor McGregor will genuinely be facing Nate Diaz December 30th of this year?
Yep.
Legit, you think it's going to happen this year?
Yes, sir. Fuck yeah, I think it's going to happen this year, because anytime Dana White, denies something as strongly as he did with this, it's horseshit. Okay, that means it's going to happen. So I always go opposite, depending on what he does. If he kind of brushes it off, yeah, right, I don't think so. That's not going to happen. If he brushes it off, I always go, okay, he might be on point with that. He might be telling the truth. But if he goes, that's not going to happen. Nope, not going to happen. In my head, I'm like, yep, going to happen. This shit's going to happen. They're going to find a way to do it, because now it's going to get hyped up even more. People are going to be bugging him and wanting it. That being said, I think it'd be a bad move for Conor. I think he needs some time. I think he could use some time away.
It is a long time that he's having off, though, really, because he fought in August, so that's September, October, November, December, end of December as well. You're talking like 4 months, though, 5 months. Sort
of, though. You mean, again, we're talking about a guy that goes, maybe he should put more time into cardio, but, he puts in hours upon hours upon hours on what he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's not one of those guys who trains heavy when he spars, though. Like when he's training, it's not like he suffers head trauma. Do you know what I mean?
Right. No, I agree. I'm with you.
I don't know. I don't think it'll happen this year. I just don't.
No?
No, I just think, why rush? Nate's not in a rush. Fuck it.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, like Nate's clearly not in a rush.
The only problem is going to be to see that match happen. Is we're going to see an interim title. We're going to see an interim title be decided who's going to be the quote unquote number one contender, and then Conor's going to fight Nate. And I don't know. Do you think they'll make it for the title?
Yeah, there's no. I mean, how else are you going to do it?
That's what I'm saying, though. But like, how do you do that when there's a number one contender already? Like, there will be a definitive number one contender. And I know we can go, oh, they'll say fuck you and just do it anyway. I get that. They could. But, like, it's a hard sell. Like, if they'd have said this prior to announcing the Tony Ferguson, Kevin Lee thing, I think they could have got away with it. Because they could have gone, this is the title match that's going to happen next. You're going to have the interim. You're going to get the next shot. You're going to fight Conor. Like, that's happening. But first, this needs to happen. It would be despised and, disputed, but at least then one of those guys can go, right, I'm going to get a shot at Conor.
Look, man, I'll tell you this. Like, it's going to be for the title because it's Conor McGregor. And I mean, what are you going to do? Make it just an off fight? With, okay, we're just going to have a fight at 155. There's no title. That doesn't make sense.
How do you justify it? He's not fought anybody. And the last person he fought, he lost to.
The UFC doesn't give a fuck.
I know, but I get that. But how do you make that fight after? If this fight, Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson for the interim title, had not been announced, I'm on board with you. They don't give a shit. We saw that with Bisping and Hendo. We saw that. But bear in mind, Hendo won his last fight. And then fought against Bisping. Like, Nate lost. And I know it was a close fight. I know he did once, and I fucking get all that. That's totally cool. Yeah. But he lost. He hasn't beaten anybody since. His last victory was against Michael Johnson, who's I don't even think he's even in the top 5 now. I think he's
not anymore.
10. Is he even in the top 10?
I don't think so.
So with that same thing said, and that was what, 18 months ago, maybe?
It was a while ago.
It was a fucking long time ago, because you're thinking to yourself, this time last year, we was getting the first Conor Nate fight.
Yeah, no, look, and this adds to why I think it'll happen by December. This fight, Ferguson Lee's gonna happen next weekend.
Right.
Am I right on that? October 7th?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, this weekend, September 29th. No MMA this week, or at least no UFC this weekend, or Bellator, I believe. I think there's something else, though. I have to research that again because I keep forgetting. But I know October 7th, I'm pretty sure it's the date for UFC 216, right? October, November, December, 2 months. Whoever the winner comes out of that is going to need those 2 months off. Like, this is going to happen. They're going to need it. So why not, while that happens, make the McGregor and Diaz fight, and then you can, quote unquote, justify it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the most legit thing to do, obviously. We've talked about this before, okay? But at the same time, it fits right in.
They've done some shadiness with Nate Diaz as well, I just like to add.
There's some shadiness? Like what?
Right, okay. So bearing in mind all the fights that have happened in the lightweight division since Nate and Conor's hiatus, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, when he was in the rankings, as far as like his last fight against Michael Johnson, he got bumped up to 8th, if you remember.
Right.
So considering how many fights have happened, Poirier's been fighting, Kevin Lee's been fighting, Justin Gaethje has been fighting, Barbosa has been fighting, Eddie Alvarez has been fighting, Kevin Lee, all these guys have been fighting, and everybody's been moving up and down the rankings. Yeah, Ali Quint has been winning fights, all that stuff. Yeah,
right.
So you think, seeing as Nate hasn't fought in 18 months, from 8th you'd probably go maybe about 9th or 10th now.
At most, you would think he'd be out by the 10th. I haven't looked. Mind you, I haven't looked in
6th.
No way.
6th,
bruh.
Yo, UFC, get your shit together, bruh.
Hey, dude. Hey, that's the UFC. UFC pulling some strings, dog. UFC, UFC getting ready. Get ready for McGregor Diaz 3, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready.
You know what? Looking at that, it's not even hard to sell anymore, is it?
Hell no. That's all. Here's the thing: the rankings you and I, everyone else has said these rankings are dog shit. In fact, there's a way you can apply, ladies and gentlemen. You can apply to have your vote count for the UFC rankings. Go ahead, Google that shit and apply if you want to, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't even fucking matter, okay? These rankings are dog shit. rankings are nothing more than a tool to quote unquote justify fights. Why? By slowly but surely bumping somebody that you want in there for a quote unquote money fight, bumping them up the fucking rankings a little bit, here and there. I won't be surprised if Nate ends up at number 5 or 4 before we get to December. Imagine that happening.
I agree with Joey. Joey Tremendous is in the comments.
Joey, what's up, motherfucker? Dude, okay, so Joey jumped on. He came out of fucking nowhere. Okay, he came on like maybe like 4 weeks ago, and he didn't come on our show, but he started going in the comments, and he tries to talk like Joey Diaz. Like if you see his he like tries to like I found him on Twitter. His Abby is like Joey Diaz t-shirt, I think, something like that. But he tries to like talk to him, like talk to him. He's a big Joey Diaz fan. Him and I got back and forth on DMs. It's funny as hell. But he jumps on. He's literally is a brand new MMA fan. I thought he was bullshitting. No, he is legitimately a brand new MMA fan that's coming on as a McGregor fan, and then is kind of like loves everybody now. It's like he legitimately does not dislike any fighter. I tried to get him to tell me, like, Joey, do you have any fighters you dislike yet? Like any of them? Because I know he's a big Conor fan and he's a big Diaz fan too. He's like totally mixed up.
He turned around, he's in the comments, and he turned around and says that Diaz will wipe the locker room floor with Conor. I don't agree with that. But I do agree that, like you said, and what we were just stating, the UFC setting up Diaz and Mac by quietly moving Nate up the rankings. And I 100% agree. After looking and seeing, because I thought he was still in 8th, maybe 9th, and maybe even in 10th due to his inactivity. Now we're looking at him and we're going, oh.
Well, I mean, look, Nick is out of the rankings due to inactivity and losing pretty much every fight since fucking forever now. But you know, everyone, if you're inactive, you get bumped down automatically. Again, the people that quote unquote vote for this shit are media people for the most part, supposedly, right? So who pays more attention to the fights and the fighters and inactivity and who's fighting when than MMA media? So you would think Nate Diaz is out, but just like Joey said, he's bumping him up. Let's pull up the live chat here. It says the UFC setting up Diaz Mac by quietly moving Nate up the rankings. 100%. They do. Here's the thing. It's almost WWE-ish.
Yeah.
Right. It's like WWE-ish. You're getting a mix of because you need to set these fights up. You know what I mean? It's like if you're playing NBA 2K, okay, and you turn off salary cap and you turn off injuries and you turn off fatigue. You can make any super team you want to with no salary cap. You can have LeBron, Kevin Durant, Melo, everyone on the same fucking team. That's what the UFC does. You know what I mean?
On a different note, because we'll leave the Conor and the Nate stuff because because
we'll go.
It's going to be a lot of time to talk about that, guys.
We'll go all day with that shit.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we're talking about something that could be mythically come through, and let's be completely honest, we could do an hour-and-a-half long show just depicting what we actually think is going to happen. Because there's a lot of intricate little things to kind of pick at and needle at and kind of debate whether they're going to be factors or not. With that same thing said, I do want to mention briefly about Conor just slightly again, because I do find it really kind of creepy that Floyd's got a 8-foot, 10-foot artwork piece of himself, fair play, but also of Conor McGregor in his house.
In Mayweather's house?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know what? Good looking out, dude. Hey, what are you gonna do? Like, I mean, that guy, he's done. He can appreciate his career now.
I know it. I just find it very weird that he's got 2 massive artwork pieces on the either side of his, I think it's his LA home. On each side of the door as he comes in, he posted it on Twitter and Instagram. And on each side, one of them's of him and the other one's of Conor. I was like, well, maybe you're just commemoratively kind of looking back at, your 50th fight. Cool.
Yeah.
But a part of me is kind of like, creepy. You've got another guy,
Yeah.
It reminds me of White Chicks, like when he has a picture of himself. Like, I don't know.
I know, I'm with you on that. I get it. I mean, at this point, he first of all, he can do whatever he wants, but it's kind of weird. It is kind of weird.
I love you to bits, bro, but like, I'm not gonna have like a picture of you in my house.
Likewise, sir. Likewise. That's a little too much. All right, that's a little too much. Let's be honest.
With that same thing said, though, we'll talk a little bit briefly about Bellator, because I only saw the Pico fight and I only saw the Daly fight. So which one do you want to talk about first?
All right, so I saw the Pico fight. I saw all on replay, mind you. I didn't watch this shit live at all. Saturday night, I was like, no UFC, no big cards. I don't got to do any covering. I'm gonna go do whatever the fuck I want. So I wasn't even home. I was out. Fuck that shit. So, yeah, I was
bitches. Eddie was rolling with bitches.
Yep. I was rolling top down, music up, fucking blasting. No, but yeah, I watched the Pico fight. I watched the Henderson fight, and I watched the main event. I watched the Daly Larkin fight, and I watched Benson Henderson fight. Pico fight, hey, good for you, man. I did a nice lucky, was it left hand? Yes. Hits him, dropped him. Beautiful fight. It was good for Pico to get, it was good confidence builder for Pico because he came out, they put him in a bad fight, honestly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he got decked. They gave him somebody he could beat, and he beat him like he's supposed to. I mean, he did what he's supposed to do in the first fight.
The thing is, though, is the guy who was facing was a guy who, again, had a little bit more experience than him, but, that left hand, in a way, it was the perfect shot because as his opponent threw the strike, he hits that left from throwing it underneath. So the guy doesn't even see the hook coming, doesn't even see the punch, and his jaw just gone with the wind, straight jacked with that left hand. It was one of the most beautiful knockouts as far as like just clean. There was no kind of like bumbling about it. There was no kind of like pushing, odd technique. It was perfectly executed. And, I'm not going to jump on the train of Pico because I think that, again, he's a diamond in the rough. And I hate the fact that people are jumping on his dick already because, he's this all-American guy and this, that, and the other. That's whatever it is. I hope he does well. I hope he evolves. I hope he gets better. He's very young. I'm very skeptical because I've seen this with Paige Van Zandt. I've seen this with Sage Northcutt. And I think we'll see how they go. Because right now, am I impressed with that left hand? Yes, I am.
Sure.
Did he get jacked in his first fight? Yeah, he did. So let's just see how he develops.
Yeah, look, they have a chance to make a superstar out of Aaron Pico if they bring him up correctly. And by correctly means not throw him against murderers from the get-go. Okay? And they seem to be trying not to do that, right? Trying. They're not doing great, but they seem to be trying to. Like, I guarantee Scott Coker shit himself a little bit when Pico got finished in that first fight. That's fast as the quickness which he got taken out. You know what I mean? He probably shit himself like, fuck, we just fucked this whole thing up. Now, comes back, wins this one in spectacular fashion with that left hand. Okay, we're back to square one. Exactly. So now we got a chance. Now we have a chance to build a legit Bellator superstar or star, okay? And towards the 21 years old, he's a kid, he's a child, he's 21, something like that. But now they got a chance to build us an actual star, a Bellator star, in fact, and try to ride him into coming close to what the UFC is. You know what I mean? Who built their own stars too.
I'm very interested to see how his wrestling would translate in MMA though. That's one thing I'm very intrigued to see.
Yeah, we didn't get to see very much of it.
Yeah, we've not seen how his ground game is in translation to being MMA wrestling because it's a big difference. Big difference. And it'd be very interesting to see how he does against somebody who is good on the ground also in an MMA atmosphere and an MMA situations where there's going to be moments where it's all good and well getting position, but you're going to catch an elbow in the head when you're, in full guard. Like, you know what I mean? You can be in side control, but somebody can sweep you. They can hit you in the head and then sweep you. Like, these are things that it's a big difference from just holding position in wrestling.
Yeah, no, it's obviously with MMA, everything's different with MMA, right? But wrestling, you don't have to worry about getting punched.
Exactly. I mean, when you get punched, you notice it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, shit. Yeah, you watch anybody go for a heel hook in MMA. They don't. Other than Ian Entwistle and Paul Harris, fucking. Other than those two guys, no one's gonna go for it when they're dry or right from the get go. Other than those two guys, because you know why? Your opponent's fucking rested and ready to go. He's gonna punch your fucking face off if you don't finish that heel hook quick, right? So it's I don't know. It's interesting to see how he's gonna do it. I mean, I don't know. Where is he training? Do you remember? Because I know I used to know, but I can't remember now.
I can't remember where he trains out of. I'll Google that real quick. Like I say, I just hope that he's not a guy who's going to be a one and done kind of thing. Like,
if I was him, I'd be going to train with who's the other short wrestler guy, Olympic wrestler, has good hands, Henry Cejudo.
Yeah,
I would go train with Cejudo and Scott
Jacks as well.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're looking at someone that has been able to transfer from wrestling, just pure wrestling to MMA, he's done a decent job at it. So if I'm him, I at least look at going over there.
I do like the fact that one person who is been recently sparring with was Miguel Cotto. So I was just like, that's pretty fucking dope.
Miguel Cotto is supposed to fight the winner of was supposed to fight the quote unquote winner of Canelo Triple G. Who knows what the fuck they do now? It'll be Canelo. Watch, it'll just be that guy. It'll be that fight. I don't think Triple G's gonna fight again, but that's just me.
He trains with AKA.
It's a good spot. Now maybe not for guys his size, but for guys that can teach him how to take his wrestling and turning into MMA wrestling. It's a good spot.
I'm trying to figure out what weight does he fight.
He's little, man. Isn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know how little because he might be one of those guys that's like a natural 155, but he goes down to 1.
Let me see.
I'm trying to pull it out real quick. He is he's a 155er. You know who he could be training with at AKA? Khabib.
Khabib. Yeah.
No, that's not a bad fucking sparring partner in a way. Do you know what I mean? If you want
other than you wrestle bears and shit. Other than fucking getting hurt constantly, Khabib could be a baller ass fucking.
That's a good training
partner.
That could be
absolutely.
Cain Velasquez bullshit.
It could be. And I wonder what the fuck's up with Khabib, by the way. When the fuck are we gonna see this asshole?
I don't think until that 165 division opens up. I don't think you're seeing Khabib ever.
You think Khabib tries out welterweight?
No.
Yeah.
165, bro, and that's it.
They're not gonna make that shit, dude, unless they're like California starts their own shit.
I bet you they make the 165. I bet you they make the 165.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Because I think to myself, if the UFC is serious about I'm not even serious about the weight cuts, but if they get to the point where they're like, look, we're doing this USADA stuff, we're trying to make sure these guys aren't doing dumb shit, but these guys aren't making weight because they've been doing dumb shit, and we're seeing this. This isn't one of those kind of like fictitious things where like, oh, since USADA's come in, a few people have got like, a little bit chunkier. Some people can't seem to make weight. This is a common fucking thing. I'd love to know the statistics, but it seems to be like 1 or 2 fighters every fucking show. Like, if you averaged it out, how many people have probably missed per show? You're probably talking about 100 fighters a year.
Easily.
That's insane. That's insane to think that many people are not making weight. So would adding more weight categories be the easier solution? Yeah, because how many fights are you going to pull? And what would be more interesting to see is how many fights from the main cards of pay-per-views and of fight nights have been pulled. Because they're the money makers, especially the pay-per-views. Because, hey, I'm not saying that Amanda Nunes was going to miss weight, but her weight cutting, the way she didn't do it right, maybe it had something to do with her not getting, maybe she didn't feel so well because of it. You're susceptible to illness after it. We've seen numerous people, Khabib pulling out because he couldn't make weight and nearly killing himself. That Japanese cat last week, he was nearly dead on the fucking scales. I'm just saying.
Yo, he looked awful though. That dude was like, yeah, fucking Jeff Nowitzki had to fucking catch him. That was like, goddamn.
I'm just saying, dude, the easier option, and I know people are going to go, yeah, but it's going to water down divisions. Hey, but they're still going to fight, though, dickheads.
Time out. Are we fucking pretending that fucking fight cards aren't already watered the fuck down? Do you know how watered they are? They're so watered down. It's like if you go to your local fucking coffee shop, you buy a fucking cold brew with a bunch of ice in it, and you let it sit for 5 days. And you know how watered down that nasty ass shit is? That's a UFC, ladies and gentlemen. It's fucking watered down. Do you want to see good fights? Like good fights with healthy fighters, or do you want to keep seeing the same dog shit? Like, I'm not fucking buying this pay-per-view, bro. I'm not fucking buying DJ being the fucking headliner, bro. It's fucking stupid. Fucking man, you're not even gonna make the fight, bro. It's fucking stupid shit. That's what that is. It's the dumbest shit. But fucking, do you want healthy fighters that make it to the fight, or do you want this bullshit that people have been complaining about for fucking ever? Make a choice. But you can't go on there with the whole, "Oh, I want better fights, but I don't want watered down divisions." No, fuck you, dude. Can you imagine? Look, I'll tell you this much: you open up those divisions that we talked about, the 165, the one between the one definitely the one, the 95. I mean, you open up those divisions. Not only do you get new divisions, okay, and guys that are better built for those weight classes, you can get crossover fights. You can get a guy that makes 205 that makes 195 very easily, move it up to 205 for a fight or two. You get some interesting fucking fights. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And again, it's ridiculous to not want it. I think it's fucking stupid. Like, you got to be stupid to not want this to happen. I want it to happen. I want to see better fights.
And it will save the UFC money because the pay-per-views will not lose out on the fights. The fights will not get pulled because these fighters will not have to worry about it. Now, I know people are going to say, well, how do you make them join these divisions? You miss weight once,
you're out.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, look, fucking Kelvin Gastelum had to fight at 85. This fight with Anderson Silva's at 85 too. So,
and so it should be. If you miss weight too many times, fuck you. Fuck you. You are a trained professional. And I know people go, the circumstances, you don't know what their life's like. No, I don't. But I know when you're a paid, trained, professional, full-time athlete, your job is when you sign. If you were a contractor, if you worked in building houses or any kind of like constructive work, if you were told a deadline and you have signed on that dotted line that this will be done by a said time, you are held accountable for writing on that line, I will have this job done at said time. There's no if, buts, and maybes. There's a dispute then. And that's the same thing with MMA fighters. You are told you need to be at a certain weight. If you can't reach that certain weight, you need to be held accountable.
Yeah, no, look, when you sign as a fighter, when you sign for a jiu-jitsu tournament, when you pay to compete, your only job, literally the only thing you got that is a job that you're signing up. When you sign up for that fucking tournament, you go, okay, I'm this belt, I'm this ranked. Do you want to fight, adult? You want to fight masters? You want to fight whatever, senior, depending on your age. Okay, cool. What weight class? Oh, heavyweight, 203.5 in no gi, 208 or 207.5 in gi. Okay, you hit register. You pay your $70 or whatever the fuck it is to enter the tournament, whichever one it may be. You have agreed that on said day you will weigh 203.5 or 207.5 and under. That's your agreement. You know what happens if you don't make that shit? You're not fighting, motherfucker. You're out. You don't get to fight anything. You know what I mean? Like at all. You miss weight, you go home. Sorry, you're disqualified. DQ'd. That's your record, bro. You're DQ'd. Okay. And in fighting, when you sign that contract, your only job is to make weight. That's literally your only job. Your only obligation to the UFC, to the Bellator, PFL, Cage Warriors, everybody. So the organization you sign with, King of Cage. The only obligation to them is to make weight and show up on fight night. Exactly. You're not even signing to train. You're not even signing to do 3 days. You're not even signing to do cardio. You're signing to make weight and show up. That's it. And if you can't do that, you're not a professional, Johnny Hendricks. You're not a professional, Kelvin Gastelum, like 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean? You're just not. You're just not. You can't bullshit that. Especially Johnny Hendricks, who missed 185. How the fuck do you miss 185? Bro, he closed that barbecue joint. That shit's not open no more. You know what I mean? How the fuck do you get so fat that you can't fucking make 185? Fuck out of here, Johnny.
He's a big rig motherfucker.
He took too many shots to the head, and this motherfucker thinks he's fucking skinny still.
Shit. One fight that I wanted to just kind of briefly bring up because I'm kind of scared in the concept for this fight. Matt Brown versus Diego Sanchez.
Oh my god! If someone doesn't die in this one, I'm gonna be surprised.
Look, this isn't even loser leaves. I know that Matt Brown said that this is his retirement fight and he wants to, have a battle as it goes out.
No, real quick.
Nobody. Nobody wins.
Nobody what?
Nobody wins out of this fight, bro. Nobody wins.
Hell no. Hell no. And look, I know a lot of people are like, oh, Matt Brown's retirement fight. Ooh, it's going to be awesome. He's going to go in all balls out. I don't see it that way. When someone says, this is my retirement fight, it's, well, if I get my ass kicked, I was retiring anyway, so don't expect me to go balls out and don't expect me to have a full effort or be at 100%. That's what I hear when someone says retirement fight. Because how many retirement fights have been fired? Not many. Most retirement fights are dog shit. Most retirement fights, the guy retiring is getting his ass whooped. Miesha Tate probably had no idea, or probably was probably thinking about retirement before she got tagged up. Right? Was it by Rocky Pennington tagged you up? All due respect. All due respect. Okay? But how did you survive Holly Holm and you got tagged up by Rocky Pennington? Get the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Those, man. But like, this is what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand that there's issues. There's little issues like this, and shit, man. I just can't do it. I look and I'm like, we've got to.
When is that fight? 16, right?
I think is it?
I'm gonna pull it up. I'll pull up the card. I'll find out.
217. I think it's a 217.
I think you're right. Which, by the way, in that case, he might not even make the fight. You never fucking know with these guys getting all crazy.
Oh, speaking of people who, don't make it to fight, so we're going to talk about the Golden Girl.
Remind me.
The fact that Paige Van Zandt.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Hold on a minute. Her flyweight debut. Not fucking strawweight, not 115, ladies and gentlemen, where she's been fighting. She's going to go up to a high division because the weight cut's been so bad. Like, I'm not being funny, but hey, yo, Conor McGregor looked like shit when he cut down to 145. Your ass didn't even look like you fucking, skipped fucking burger day and shit. You just looked normal when you turned up at 115. But I do like the fact, though, that, it's looked a little bit sketchy when she has pulled up weight. I remember when people were trying to get pictures of her when she was under the towel ring thing.
Yeah.
You shady fucking reporters trying to get this little booty pictures. Scandalous motherfuckers.
That's it. That's why she has a triple cut on a 115, man. She got a booty.
Bro, she ain't got shit. All I know is that she's got a back injury, apparently,
Yeah, jiu-jitsu. I'm assuming someone like she got dropped on or something when she was like inverting or something. That's what I always think when someone gets like a spine injury or a back injury. Someone was inverting or someone got taken down in a nasty way.
Oh, she got drilled by a new boyfriend.
Good for you, ladies. Good for you, fella. I don't even know who you are, but good for you.
No,
yeah, you know what, man? Do it.
Tattoo fucking sleeve. Eat a big bowl.
I haven't even seen his picture, so I can't even shit on his tattoo. But if he has a star tattoo, sir, you went wrong. You went the wrong way.
He's like 24 years old, and he's got a tribal tattoo with stars. Yo. Like it's 2004. What the fuck are we dealing with?
Yeah, right. Real quick, Matt Brown, Diego Sanchez is at UFC Norfolk, the November 11th card. So it's not even on a pay-per-view.
One more time.
Norfolk. Close enough. I don't know, dude. I'm not from here.
You know what's the irony? Because we have one in this country, and y'all stole that as well.
Y'all, hey, time out. Don't y'all me with that bullshit. I wasn't here when that happened. I was still back in. I wasn't even born.
Because I just love the fact that there's so many places. Obviously, I know why, but there's so many places that you guys have over there, and it just amuses me when you guys call it in a different way. And I'm just like, yo, just say it like how we say it. Like,
right.
It's funny though because like I used to live in a place up north in the UK in England called Washington, and it just amused me because obviously that's one of your big states as far as it's concerned, like politically and all that kind of stuff, and it's like the smallest town in one of our like cities. But yeah, it just amused me.
Shit, I never been to Washington D.C. ever, but
no, are you not going to get an invite from your best friend Donald Trump?
Donald Trump don't want to see me. Fucking A, dude. I will kneel in the steps of fucking White House. I don't give a shit. I will kneel, put my fingers up. When that motherfucker comes out, I will Stockton slap him and then take the bullet from the sniper that's gonna get me for sure.
If you're getting anywhere near the fucking White House, you're tripping balls. You are tripping balls.
Yeah, I know. No, they'll never let me around. I don't even care. It's hypothetical anyway.
Go.
Huh?
No, go.
No, you know who used to fucking go off about like saying like what hypothetically should happen to Donald Trump? Andy, when he's rest in peace, Andy. He used to go at the end of the show for like a solid like fucking 2 months. At the end of every show, he would just yell like begging someone to do something crazy, and I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? We're on the air. Like they can see this shit.
I'll say
What's
this.
wrong with you?
It's been hysterical this weekend to
Oh, dude.
the unraveling, because you know what, right? And I mean this in all due respect to every one of you, like every one of you that live in the States. I personally think you're all amazing. I have a lot of friends that I interact with. Obviously, like I say, Eddie's one of my best friends, and I find it hilarious though watching you all. Like watching social media when an event happens in the States. You guys are fucking crazy. Like, I don't even understand some of the way that you all kick off, because I sent you that video, didn't I, where the people who were fans of the same American football team, I think it was, were kicking off with each other, and the way that they were talking back and forth to each other was like, it was like kindergarten insults. I hate you, man. I hate you. It's like, okay, then, and there was. We love you, down with Trump. We love you, out with Trump. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay. Here's the thing. Because nobody here understands how the rest of the world is laughing at us right now. Okay. You clearly do. You understand. You're watching this shit from outside in, right? I'm in the middle of this shit, looking around, going, I legit was like on Facebook, right? Now I'm looking at people on Facebook. I have friends that are fighting on Facebook over this shit. I'm like, you fucking idiots been friends forever, and you're really gonna fight about this? Like, and here's the thing: no one ever thinks about this shit, about how this makes the U.S. look to everybody else outside. Like, we look like complete retards right now to everybody. You know what I mean? Anyone that gets all pissed at me for saying that we look like retards, look in the mirror. You'll see a retard. It's 100% across the boord. Okay?
I've got to ask the question: where do you stand?
Where do I stand? Where do you stand? I take a knee, sir.
Let's go.
I took it.
Powerful knee.
Yeah. No, look, I'll tell you. Look, I did my episode of the Morning Talk the other day with saying that was the last thing I was talking about, and this will be the very last thing I'll say about it, because it really has gotten so out of hand. But because I understand where the taking a knee, what it means. Okay, a lot of people think it's that they're doing it to disrespect the America, the U.S., the Constitution, the flag, the anthem, all that. It has zero to do with that. The funny part is no one here understands that. Everyone outside of the U.S. understands that. It makes no sense. Like, I have a lot of friends, like, you're in the U.K. I have a bunch of friends in the U.K. I have friends in, like, China that I talk to on Twitter. I have friends in so many countries, and they're all going, like, why are they getting mad at that? That makes no sense. They're not protesting that. They're protesting the asshole behind the podium. Like, Josh Norman, the quarterback for the Washington Redskins, said that. He said that exact thing. He goes, we're not protesting the anthem or the flag or anything American. We're protesting the guy behind the podium, Donald Trump, right? So it's...
And the other thing is it was to do with the police brutality as well. And
that's how it started.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a culmination of things that are wrong with what is being under the governing body that you're currently under. It's not against, anything to do with veterans. It's nothing to do with, the patriotism of the country.
None like that.
Purely based on, we are against things that are wrong morally and that go against, from what I understand, that go against the principles of what America wants to represent itself with.
Yeah. Now, what bothers me about this whole thing is because like I said, I'm with the knee. I'm with taking a knee.
You won't pull guard, ladies and gentlemen, but
I won't pull guard. I'll drop a knee and then I'll shoot my single leg. I'll drop a knee and make it think that you could jump into, like, take my bag or something from there, and then fuck you, bro. I'm shooting on you, bitch. What's up? I timed it. But the thing about taking a knee though is you got to see the perspective of who's taking the knee. Okay, the immediate reaction from everyone out here, the middle class and lower especially, they're like, oh, these millionaires, these pompous millionaires, these assholes they're taking a knee. They're not suffering this. You're wrong. Where do you think these millionaires came from? They didn't come from Beverly Hills. They didn't come from fucking, they didn't come from, the Bahamas or Malibu or anything crazy. They come from Overtown in Miami, where there's where the murder rate outdoes the graduation rate by double. They come from Southside Chicago, where dozens of kids shoot each other to death every fucking night. You know what I mean? They come from Compton. They come from these shitholes of America. They do. I mean, come on. What's more American than fighting your way out of a shit situation and getting to be rich?
It's the American.
Exactly. Who else has? I mean, come on, what's more American than that, right? Maybe apple pie, but other than that, it's like what the fuck, right? So, to say that these fucking millionaires being, they're fucking assholes, whatever, you don't understand where they come from. Then you don't understand why they feel the way they do.
And the other additional thing is what I'd like to add is what I do find amusing by people kind of degrading what these guys are doing just because they're on, X amount of money now. Hey, they have a bigger platform than you do.
Yep.
So if they do this and they can inspire some kids, some teenagers to do something positive with their lives, as opposed to the people who maybe they're not as rich, but they're not doing anything. Like the people who are criticizing aren't going to protests. The people who are criticizing and not going out in there and voting for somebody like what was the other there was another gentleman that was in the running when you guys were voting your president. Were it Bernie Sanders, or am I thinking
Bernie Sanders?
Was it Bernie Sanders who was running? I don't know. I just remember he was the guy who wanted to increase tax for the rich.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, so that was another option you could have voted instead of voting for.
Now, if we get into that situation, we're going to spend like 8 hours on this podcast because that got shady as shit if we look into the facts. But I see your point. I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying, though, you have other options. You don't have to vote Hillary and you don't have to vote Trump, but you got, not you personally, but people decided there was either two devils and we're going to pick one or the other. It's like, you had a third option. You didn't exercise that right to go after that. I'm not saying that the guy's perfect. I don't know every one of his stances on certain political issues and everything like that. But what I'm saying is, though, is these same people are not wanting to exercise their right to kind of change and do something different and not go with the general stigma. They just want to bitch and moan about it. Whereas at least these guys are using their social media platform, like which I'm going to allude to here. LeBron James.
Oh, yeah.
The second biggest athlete on social media in the world, decided he was going to speak out about the ills that he feels are occurring with the political standpoint that you are currently all experiencing.
Yeah. No, the thing with it is that the whole situation's gotten kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Give me a quick second, right?
I think he's dying, ladies and gentlemen. He's trying to scratch that ringworm out of his face. Maybe. Ooh.
Yep, ringworm got me. My bad. Anyway,
he's pulled it out. It's fine, ladies and gentlemen. If you watched Rick and Morty and you saw the Morty mind blowers, the little fucking big fat worm devil thing. It was like him coughing out that, and he just pulled that out of the side of his face. It's fine now.
Yeah, that's my bad. Anyway, show must go on. Fucking here's the thing though. When I saw Donald Trump go off on this shit on Twitter, especially on Twitter, this motherfucker. I swear to God, no president has tweeted as much as this douchebag. All right, 100%. That's what makes me mad. That's why I get mad at this dude. Everyone's like, "Oh, you hate him because he's white." Nope, you hate him because he's Donald Trump. Not even. I dislike him because he spends so much time tweeting. He does nothing else. Now, here's the reason why this whole thing is questionable to me. He comes out, tweets his shit out about let's fucking, we're in the issue now. Fuck it. The reason why the NFL players as a whole, instead of just a handful, now it's everybody taking a knee and linking arms and all that, is because he came out, I think last week, and said that that he wishes the NFL owners came out and said, take that son of a bitch off the field and fire him. You called him son of a bitch? What? Motherfucker, what? No, what other president has called somebody a son of a bitch? Get the fuck out. But to me, it's him trying to cause a commotion, trying to cause a distraction. Because what is the number one thing the two fucking big things that are going on in America right now? Healthcare is fucked. Okay, they're trying to fuck the American people out of healthcare, depending on how you see it, right? I'll hold that opinion back because we'll be on here for days if we do that shit. But the other thing, North Korea, we're this close. We're close as shit to World War III, possibly. Okay.
Oh, I'm not going that far, but because the only reason I say that though is because the amount of artillery and military that the United States, among other countries, have that would be able to prevent such an event like that happening with North Korea is extensively high. And I just think to myself, these guys are barely scraping missiles over near.
Oh, yeah.
So good luck trying to get against the highest grade of military in the entire world, like the United States and other.
Right.
But yeah, I get your point though.
Yeah.
He's inciting them. He's provoking them. He's getting out his dick and going, "How big's yours?" Then that's what he's doing.
Exactly. But I mean, with the whole thing when he comes out against the NFL players, that's just a distraction, man. When I see something like a big, oh, look at me, I'm over here, look at me, I'm the bad guy. To me, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is Congress doing right now? I need to know. You know what I mean? Like, you got to look behind what they're distracting you from. That I've known that since I was a kid, dude. I was noticing shit going down. I'm like, you know, like I think I was like in middle school. I forgot what bill got signed. That was total bullshit. And, you know, that weekend there was this big old scandal in Washington. And then this thing gets signed, and then it comes out like on the next Monday. Oh, by the way, this is law now. And I go, whoa, what the fuck? When did we vote on that? You know what I mean? It happens constantly. So it's just an entire fucking mess. And we can go, I can go straight Eddie Bravo on this shit and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, straight up, just give you point by point how this fucking whole thing works. But the whole point is this. And people can say, you know, here's what pisses me off about this, because you tell me if you agree. Donald Trump is divisive as a government official as we have ever seen, right? Maybe the most divisive person ever.
I think so, because what you've got to look with him compared to any other guy. This guy is, how can I put it? Whether you like him or not, he's socially media savvy. He puts out something that can cause a conversation.
Sure, he's a genius at social media. I mean, if anyone's ever been, he ranks #1 all time in getting attention. He's fucking great at that. You know what I mean? But the thing is like, okay, so let's say he's as divisive, maybe probably the most. I think he's the most divisive human being ever, other than Jesus Christ himself. Because as soon as you go into religion, then you get crazy. Okay, but all right, and that's not good or bad. That's just an opinion for another day. But the thing with this is that immediately if you say that, everyone's like, well, Obama was just divisive. Okay, fair enough. That being said, whether you agree with that or not, that being said, he's not president right now. He's not in here right now. This motherfucker is.
You know what's the thing about the whole like Obama thing though? People make out that the Obama thing was people were so divisive. But the problem was with him was that there was a spectrum of, you know, minorities that was happy to kind of have somebody represent them.
Sure, yeah.
But there was a lot of people who was very anti-Obama because of his race and nothing to do with his politics. Now,
and that's when you get,
the thing is with Trump is he's dividing. He's not dividing. And I know obviously you're gonna have probably a slightly different viewpoint to me, but from the outside, from my perspective, when I look at what Donald Trump says and does, he doesn't just divide minorities from majorities. He doesn't divide just lower mid class people from, you know, middle, upper, and higher class people. He literally divides people. There are white people that hate Donald Trump just as many as there is white people who love Donald Trump.
Agreed.
So it's not just that he's masking in the fact that he's going to go, right, I'm going to play minorities, I'm going to play majorities, I'm going to make them go against. It's not even that. He literally divides every opinion, no matter what your spectrum is.
No, I agree. No, and you're on point with that completely. The thing with, and there's so many ugly things about the history of this country that no one wants to talk about. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to talk about the fact that we're being divided. You know, the Obama thing was weird because it was a racial divide, right? And it wasn't his fault. I don't see it as being his fault. Mind you, full disclosure, I voted for that dude. I mean, oh shit.
No,
phone calls. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. So, you know, I voted for Obama the first time, especially because it was like, whoa, like, besides the fact that I was just as tired. It was kind of the same thing here, right? Everyone was just like, let's get someone new in there. I'm tired of the same old fucking shit that we get. You know what I mean? The George Bush type guy, right? We want someone different. So I voted for him on that. I agree with a lot of things that he wanted to do. You know what I mean? A lot of things he didn't get done, obviously, unfortunately, because, you know, whatever, but politics and everything. But also because I was like, man, I want to one day, if I ever have kids, I want to be able to say, hey, man, you can make it. Or, hey, you know, daughter, you can make it to be president. Like, it's possible for you to be president. And it has nothing to do with your skin color.
We'll just move on to a subject that we'll try to transcend to. But one thing I want to kind of talk about is just the NBA stuff, because obviously we had the media day. It was very kind of fun. just kind of seeing everybody talk, whether it be Russell Westbrook kind of just kind of playing and kind of intimidating the media as he usually does, which was
it's so much fun to watch.
He scares the shit out of him. Like, it's just so humorous for me.
You know who's number one in that ranking? Greg fucking Popovich. I love watching him in press conferences, and it's always short and sweet, but it's always hilarious.
I don't know. For people who don't know, I used to be a fan of NBA, like of basketball, like years ago. I've just recently come back into it, like over the last like 18 months. So my opinions of everything that I'm seeing right now, it's like watching a brand new sport. It's like watching a brand new style of. It's like being a points jiu-jitsu fan and then coming back and now you see nogi. It's like it feels like a completely new sport, and I'm blessed as well because obviously this off season has been one of the most entertaining as far as different spectacles, whether it be trades, drafts, rumors for people going on in the future and moving to different places when they become free agents, because there's a lot of people who are up for free agency in the next 12 months. So shit's going crazy, and today has been fucking awesome to watch all these different people doing the media. So pick anyone, wherever you want to speak about, because like I say, I've been watching a few of them today and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, fucking I watched the LeBron one. To me was the most interesting one, because how many times did he call Kyrie Irving kid?
Yeah, I don't think that people are making that's like a passive aggressive thing.
Wait, that was yesterday or today?
That was today.
That was yesterday. Today?
Well,
okay.
It was today.
It was yesterday. Oh, today. Okay, so it's today. Yeah. So he goes, yeah, I try to help the kid out. But he said kid like 15 times, and I'm like,
yeah, but when you're a veteran and you're older,
right. But is it?
Kyrie Irving's like what, 25, 26?
Yeah, but okay, I'd be on point with you if he hadn't done it before. He's done it before.
I guess so, but I don't know. To me, I think that like there's going to be a bitter taste in his mouth. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to make that.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Because he even turned around and said like if his kid was playing on an opposite team.
Yeah.
He ain't giving him no advice. He's not.
He's like, I ain't telling him shit.
Exactly. So like, I understand that there's going to be that kind of rivalry now, but that's because he's an ultra competitive alpha male, like the best you are. Like, look at Michael Jordan. Half of his best friends played on different teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, but here's the thing. Like with LeBron, it's kind of funny because I mean, he's like, it's almost like he had this whole like, how dare someone want to leave? Like, you want to leave the best player on the planet? Like, mind you,
the fact that he was giving him the keys to the kingdom.
That's what he says. You know what I think it was? I think Kyrie Irving just fucked his plan for leaving.
I don't.
Because LeBron, no, I think so. Hear me out. So LeBron wins a ring for the Cavs finally. They have a title, they're champions, or they were champions, whatever. Okay. Now he's like, now I can go wherever I want. They can't hate me for it. Right? In fact, I'm not even gonna leave him fucked up. I'm gonna leave him competitive. Kyrie's gonna be here, Kevin Love's gonna be here, and I can go wherever I want to. All right. And Cleveland's not gonna be like, oh, you left us high and dry again. Kyrie Irving leaves. And you better hope Isaiah Thomas pans out. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. It's just now it's going to be harder for him to leave cleanly.
I don't know, because if he can get the one thing that has thrown it, I'm just nearly throwing my Mac everywhere. The one thing that does kind of throw a bit of a spanner into the works is the fact that Melo's obviously gone to the Thunders.
Oh yeah,
that has probably thrown a bit of a spanner into the works because he probably would have ended up going next season to the Cavs, and he could have built like a minute super team. Could LeBron? Now it's a difficult sell. Like obviously Wade's obviously looking like he is going to.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone, and there is talks that apparently by Wednesday he could have signed for the Cavs. Like apparently there's an agreement, but it's not confirmed. Last time.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking. Oh no, here it is. Breaking news. Adrian Wojnarowski, who, by the way, is the best source of NBA information out there, fucking bar none. Wade plans to sign with Cavs sources say. Dwayne Wade plans to sign with the Cavaliers and reunite with LeBron James. League sources told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. This is on ESPN.com. So it's going to happen. That being said, I'm not impressed.
I'm not impressed, but what you've got to look at is you've got to put the pieces together. Do you know what I mean? Like a long season, and you need these talented players, even if at the back end, you still need to have that culmination so that you can obviously have a plan A, B, C, D. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now, real quick. Look, pretend you're the Golden State Warriors. You know that roster, right?
Yeah, it's a deep.
Okay. Deep ass roster, right? All right, Chicas, this is the Cavaliers roster. Starting five, this is when Isaiah Thomas comes back. For now, Derrick Rose is going to start for sure. But when Isaiah Thomas comes back, there's going to be Isaiah Thomas, J.R. Smith, LeBron James, Kevin Love, and Tristan Thompson. The backups are going to be Derrick Rose, Jose Calderon, Cal Korver, Richard Jefferson, Eddie Tavares, and Ante Zizic, who? And then Jay Crowder, solid fucking pickup, by the way. Jay Crowder is going to be an underrated pickup. Shanny Fry, Jeff Green, another underrated, and Iman Shumpert is your bench. The Warriors murder that team.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Murder it. But even with Dwayne Wade.
But the one thing that you've got to take into account now is the West has got even stronger.
Oh yeah, dude. Believe me, the Warriors are not even worried about Cleveland right now. They got plenty of problems coming out of Houston, and they got problems. Definitely a huge problem coming out of OKC.
That's the problem. Like now, this is what I'm saying. Like as long as Cleveland can get to the final, that's where it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, they'll get there. In my opinion, other than with against Boston, they'll get there rather easily, I believe.
Because the thing is, though, is the way that the style of play goes for the Cavs, it just doesn't work well against the Warriors. But
right, because
it does go well against every other team. Like near enough every other team.
Yeah,
the Cavs beat. It's just boring.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It's because it's different. The Warriors outscore you, and then they have a few defenders, right? Maybe Klay Thompson, solid defender. Andre Iguodala, high level defender. Draymond Green, high level defender.
High level.
You know what I mean? Steph Curry can't guard a barn.
Oh no, he couldn't. No, I could beat Steph Curry to the fucking basket.
Yeah, easily. You could cross his eyes over and take him out. But regardless, they just have just enough, defense to win because they're gonna score a shitload of points on you. Even Kevin Durant's a solid defender. He's not great, but he's solid.
Well. They spread the floor well.
They spread the floor great, right? But they move the ball in a very conventional, high-paced way. The ball moves around the perimeter, inside, outside, right? With the Cavs, LeBron drives in, dunk. LeBron drives in, dunk, or layup, or whatever. Yes, timeout. Yeah, real quick. So, timeout. The other team, and he goes, "Hey, look, you guys need to start double teaming LeBron, or as soon as he starts driving, you pinch him, right? Pinch him means you come in and you cut him off. Yeah, that's great. Go ahead and leave him open for a 3-point shooter called Kevin Love, or a 3-point shooter called Iman Shumpert, or used to be Kyrie Irving. Have fun with that. That's how the Cavs work. Nobody in the East can guard that. However, the Warriors can because they're already up 30 on you by the time you're doing that shit.
But can the Thunders?
Can the Thunder guard the Warriors or the Cavs?
No. Can the Thunders deal with the Cavs if they were to get into the
No, hell no.
Well, this is what I'm saying. But the Thunders look really good against the Warriors now with the additions that they've made.
Yeah, and a lot of people are making a huge deal, and I'm kind of with them. Not with them, but I understand what they're saying. Okay, you get a ball-dominant point guard, MVP, average triple-double. Amazing, right? Ball-dominant. Paul George, ball-dominant with the Pacers. At times he brought the ball up the court. Carmelo Anthony, should I even say it? The most ball-dominant.
ISO.
Like a motherfucker. Okay? All right. He doesn't know how to play.
So many ankles he thinks it's 2K18.
Fucking everyone thought Kobe Bryant was a ball hog. You never saw Melo play, motherfucker? You need to go see that guy play. All right.
The thing is, though, is if they can work that out. If they
no, but that's my point.
That out.
Right, that's my point. It's Melo's got to go there at 34 years of age and say, look, man, these young guys are gonna have to be the ones that do the heavy lifting. I gotta do support them as much as I can. He's got to be an off-ball shooter now, a catch and shoot, a spot up and shoot, a screen set, roll out, or screen set, roll to the basket type of guy and get to the free throw line. That's got to be his game now. He cannot dominate the ball, otherwise OKC is super fucked. You know what I mean?
Though now, what's great for the Thunders is that there's not that reliance purely on the back of Westbrook.
Oh, dude, it's going to be great. Hey, go ahead and double and triple team Westbrook if you want. Melo's going to knock down a three. PG's going to slash to the basket and dunk on your ass. Like, it's going to be fun as fuck to watch. I haven't bought NBA League Pass in like 4 years. I'm about to buy it. I'm getting League Pass this year because I want to watch OKC. I want to watch Houston, Cleveland, Boston, and Golden State. And because I live in Phoenix, so the Suns are on local TV anyway, so I watch them whenever anyway. But I'm going to get that shit because it's exciting now. Last year blew because you knew what was going to happen. Like, even with, you knew it was going to be Cavs Warriors, and you knew the Warriors were going to destroy them, right? That was a given. Okay. So it happened just the way we thought it would be. Now it's a little more interesting because the Cavs still have that red carpet to the fucking finals, but the Warriors got San Antonio, OKC, Houston, the Clippers, if they're able to work out Patrick Beverly into the lineup, not in a Chris Paul type of way, but in a more like, in a more conventional type of way. I mean, who else is out there? The Pelicans.
Don't forget the Timberwolves. You've got loads of guys that you've got loads of teams.
Exactly. T-Wolves. Hey, the Pelicans.
Let's not even. I know you're going to give me so much flack for this, but don't sleep on the Lakers, though. I'm just saying.
The Lakers will give if the Lakers if OKC runs into if OKC runs into LA into the Lakers, they'll give them a hard time, but they're not beating OKC in a 7.
No, I'm not saying that Lakers can even get out of the first round.
No way.
I'm just saying, though, that these are stumbling blocks, and these are teams that people, when you look at the West, this is why the West is so fucking badass. But the thing is, though, is it's like, it's going to be interesting to kind of see how these teams develop because, you always hear the term like rebuilding in the process and all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is like, we're going to get to see some of these talented rosters and see how it develops. Like, for me personally, like you've obviously been going through this for a few years with the but obviously being a Bulls fan, like it's heartbreaking being a Bulls fan. The only fucking thing that's made me happy today is that we've re-signed Mirotic, and that's it. That's it. That's literally it. And the only reason I'm happy about that is because he's not getting transferred on 2K18. Because if it for him on this goddamn game, I have one assist because his catch and shoot and corner special.
He's money.
Is the only thing that gets me any assists.
Yeah,
like, and Wade's obviously leaving as well. But the thing is, though, is like I said, you look at all these teams, and it's a lot of fun to just be a fan and just watch and see what's going to kind of develop. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that the Bulls are going to be trash. Right? I'm just lied to the fact. Even when I look on the rankings for the 2K game, the latest one, it's like the 28th, 28th in the rankings of 30 teams. There's only 2 teams that are worse than the Bulls statistically in this game.
Yeah, look, man. First of all, with the Bulls, it's going to be a while. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But there's a good draft next year. So
next year, and I think the year after is supposed to be decent. But dude, look, the NBA is just going to be a lot of fun to watch, but mostly the Western Conference. Because look, here's what the way I see it, and I was actually talking to somebody about it today. The road for the Warriors to the finals is like fighting Nick Diaz in a 5-round fight. Okay. Yeah. First round, he's going to pitter-patter you 50%ers. Okay. Let's say Warriors against Rockets. Okay. Let's say that gets to that point. Second round. Okay. You get OKC now. Like, all right, you guys are heavy hitters. Or sorry, San Antonio now. All right. Yeah. You get some heavy hitters, right? You got San Antonio. This is second and third rounds against Nick Diaz. Patter, pop, body shots. You're not dying. He's not knocking you out. All right. You're starting to feel it a little bit, but you're okay. All right. Conference finals, OKC Thunder. Now you're getting 75% shots, and you're getting hit a little bit. You're getting a little hurt. You're going to get to the finals and face 5th round Nick Diaz with your 5th round cardio, and now we got fucking like 2nd round Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz on the other side in the Cleveland Cavaliers who didn't have that hard of a time to get there. That's going to matter. I made the argument when Cleveland won. I made the argument that the Cavaliers won that and they were able to come back from a 3-1 deficit because their road to the finals was not as hard. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I think that was one of the factors anyway.
I was going to say you have to give a lot of credit to LeBron as well, because
100%,
like, legitimately carried that team to win that final. I know that Kyrie Irving got the shot that got heard around the world, and obviously
you don't get that shot without that block of Iguodala.
You don't get that without fucking winning the 3 games prior either. So,
that's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, let's put the spade to spade where I'm from. So the thing is I appreciate that, and I think that maybe the Cavs have got an easier journey, but LeBron's getting older.
Way older. He's 33.
I think it's 33 or 34. And the point being is, though, is he's been training more intense apparently this summer. And I don't know if that's a media ploy. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But what I do know is the fact that age catches you up. No matter, and whether it catches him early on in the season, middle of the season, the end of the season, or in the playoffs.
It'll catch you.
There's going to be a moment, and then that's when you're going to start to see the Cavs still going to be that team. Because the one problem with the Cavs is always going to be one thing and one thing only. The status of the state and the area. Because this is in every sport. Like, this happens in football all the time. Do you want to know why Real Madrid and Barcelona are the biggest, arguably the biggest teams in the world, and everybody wants to go and play for them? It doesn't matter if you play for Man United, who are the biggest football team franchise in the entire world, bar none.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, easily.
They all want to go to Barcelona and Real Madrid for two reasons. Do you know why those two reasons are, sir?
Why?
Lower tax.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucking weather. Like, it's,
Yeah.
And they don't have to, and they, over in the winter, they don't play in Spain. Like, they don't play. They don't play at Christmas like we do. We play in the snow, bro. We play in the fucking rain and the ice. These people are just chilling. Like, for 2 3 weeks, they're like, oh, we're going to just have Christmas, New Year's. We're going to have the first week off in January. They have a holiday. Like, they just take time out. That's why. And I mean this respectfully, but this is why I think next year I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I genuinely believe next offseason the Lakers are going to make acquisitions that are going to turn them into the next threat as far as being able to really compete at the latter stages of the playoffs. And I'm willing to put that out there.
You're talking about getting, in terms of getting
big players, and
free agents,
I think next year, when we look at the 18-19 season, you're going to look at that Lakers side and you go, because, like you say, there's a lot of free agents. They've got a lot of free cap space. And where would you rather live? Like, when you look at some of these free agents, do you want to live in Oklahoma? Do you want to live in Cleveland? Or would you rather live in LA?
Right. And here's the thing, when because you just reminded me of something. When back in 2003, I was in high school still when LeBron was drafted, right? And everyone, the thing was, hometown boy he's gonna be in the Cleveland. He's from Akron, Ohio. He's gonna be Cleveland, hometown guy, right? And I remember saying it to I think I said it to one of my teammates, because I played varsity basketball for in high school. I remember telling one of my teammates, I go, LeBron getting drafted by Cleveland is probably the worst thing that's going to happen to this kid. And everyone's like, why? And I'm like, because Cleveland sucks. Not the team, the city. It sucks to live there. You know why? People that live there, get the fuck out. The people that are there are stuck. That's what it is. You know what I mean? You think if people had a choice, if you went to the city of Cleveland and you put on a TV commercial, okay, this is a one-time offer. You have 1 day to sign up for this. Everyone that signs up in the next 24 hours, we will pay you to move anywhere you want. Okay? Anywhere. We'll give you money to buy a decent home, and you're gone. That's it. Okay? You will lose like 90% of the population easily. Easily. The 10% that stays there are the old motherfuckers that have been there forever, don't know any better, and they want to do this fake ass like, I'm Cleveland till I die. Okay, have fun. All your kids are gone. They want to leave anyway. You know what I mean? That's the problem I had too with LeBron leaving, is everyone was just like, well, how could you leave us? Like, dude, you fucking left. Like, you want to leave too. Don't bullshit. You fucking hypocrite. But, because it's sports and, we're paying you and all this shit. It's different for some reason. But when he got drafted by Cleveland, I said that was the worst thing to happen. And I said, because he's going to want to leave at some point. And I remember about my team asking me, my best friend Sean, he goes, what do you mean? And I go, He's what, 17 right now? 18? At that point, I was like, what do you think he's going to be like when he's like 24, 25? You know what I mean? You think he's going to hang around fucking boring-ass Cleveland? I'm like, he's going to be looking at LA from far away with binoculars going, is Kobe gone yet? Because I want to take over that shit. Or he's going to be looking at New York like, hey, is anybody over there? Because I'll take over that shit. Or even, and I remember fucking around about Miami because I was a big Dwayne Wade fan in college.
Yeah.
And when he played for Marquette, he took him to the fucking Final Four. He took his subpar roster to the Final Four. I was a Dwayne Wade fan since the day he got drafted. I was like, dude, I'd rather watch Dwayne Wade play than LeBron James all day. And I did that. Please believe I did that shit, okay? I had NBA League Pass, not League Pass. I had the subscription online that you could watch like channels from other fucking states. But anyway, and I watched the Miami games because I thought he was great. I was like, fuck, Dwayne Wade in the NBA is gonna be a fucking killer. And then he fucking, I remember in the playoffs, fucking beat the New Orleans Hornets back when they were New Orleans. He beat the Hornets fucking in the last play with a fucking little layup, I think, or a little floater over Baron Davis. I remember that in the playoffs, and it was like, "Ooh, shit! This kid plays like a vet. What the fuck?" Right. So anyway, I was like, LeBron's gonna be looking at all these places. All right. I go, we live in Phoenix. You know, and we're like 17, 16 at the time. I go, you're not thinking about leaving at some point? Because I am. It's fucking hot here. Ain't no beach here. It's hot as shit all the time. You know, during the summer, it's like everyone's dying. We get these dust storms that look like the wall from fucking The Mummy Returns, and it sucks here. There's nothing fun to do. I go, you're not even thinking about leaving?
Yeah.
So why do you think LeBron's not gonna think about leaving? So I thought it was like the whole thing was fucked with that for real. But I think going back to the original thing, I think Kyrie Irving leaving fucked his plan to leave. And now he's gonna hope that Isaiah Thomas fucking pans out. No, I don't think he's gonna make him stay. Keep that in mind. I don't think it's gonna be a reason he stays. I think it's gonna make him leaving a little messier. He's not gonna look great.
Yeah, but he didn't look great either time that he's left the teams that he was with. Like when he left Cleveland,
right?
that shit.
That was the worst.
In a way, when he left Miami, a little bit shit because he fucking flopped first time. Do you know what I mean?
But more people. When he left Miami, it was better and easier for him than when he left Cleveland because they blamed. Well, no, because they blamed Pat Riley.
Yeah.
Which honestly, he deserves part of the blame. I'll be honest with you.
I agree, but I'm just saying though that at the end of the day, it was still a bitter taste in the Miami fans' mouth when he left.
Disclaimer: there's no more fickle fans than Miami fans. And
I know. I'm just saying though they have a right to be,
sure.
When the greatest player, at that current time for them leaves, and
I'm sure they're upset. Yeah, but I'm sure they're upset they run out of Coke too, motherfuckers. Like,
well, that's I don't even.
Hey, talk to someone from Miami. They'll tell you.
All I'm saying is next year, the Lakers, I'm just saying, are going to look a threat because they have the cap space. They will have the money free for these free agents. And why wouldn't you want to live in LA?
Yeah, no, I'm not doubting him, man. He's at a house there and everything too. So who knows, man? It's going to be interesting, but I'm definitely going to enjoy the fuck out of this season, man. It's going to be crazy.
100%. Right, we're going to leave it on that note, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, don't forget to give this a like. Just want to give a shout out to our sponsors real quick. First off, starting with Bain. Bain is a jiu-jitsu and athletic apparel. If you haven't seen Bain, it's BAIN store.com. Go and check it out. They do rash guards, they do mugs. All jiu-jitsu inspired artwork is imprinted on all these different array of items, whether it be, like I say, rash guards, spats, hoodies. Like I say, it's cool because they actually are fans of jiu-jitsu. It's not just a company who's just hashing stuff out with the same generic bullshit that you see on rash guards and on t-shirts and whatnot. So go and check out bainstore.com. Use the code with the heel hook, get yourself 10% off. Secondly, the OGs of our sponsors, Receptra, RECEPTRA, naturals.com if you're in the States, RECEPTRA, global.com if you are in Europe. You can also order if you're from Australia and different areas of the world. They do ship worldwide. You can use either or, but make sure you use the code word, the heel hook, for 10% off. They do CBD oils, they do tropicas, they do extracts, they do all that good stuff. And if you train or if you just want to improve your well-being and your health, I couldn't recommend CBD oils enough. If you get a moment, just Google CBD oils, see the health benefits that people have been able to benefit from with these oils, with these topicals. It's easy to apply, they're easy to taste. You can put it in your coffee if you really want. I personally just use the drops, then use my tongue to rub it into my gums so it'll get into my system quicker. That's just me. Some people like to just put it on the tongue, swallow it, cool. Some people like to put it in the water, some like to put it in the food, but at the end of the day, it's essential, I personally believe, for your well-being and health. It helps with inflammation, it helps with focus, it helps with your digestive system. There's been studies where it helps with cancer cells. It's a beautiful thing, and now they even do a receptor for your pets. So there's health benefits for even for your loved ones on all fours. So, like I said, check out receptornaturals.com or receptorglobal.com if you're in the United Kingdom or in the United States, and use the code word the heel hook for 10% off. Where can they find you, Eddie?
You can find me at Elo31 on Twitter. Of course, Elo52 on the Snapchat. And make sure you hit us up tomorrow night. Keyboard Warriors go live 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. 9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. Yeah, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Go to crossbonesmma.live. I got that shit going now. So now you don't have to click. You don't have to look for a link on Twitter. Just crossbonesmma.live. Get you right to the show. And especially when we're live, just hit it right on there. You get to go. And shout out to Represent for helping us out at repcrossbonesmma.com. They got some new gear. Get yourself that shit. And by the way, Receptor's no joke. They're helping me come back on my back. No joke, dude. I'm feeling so much better little by little. It's fucking helping. I need to get more of that. I need to order me some more of that stuff because I'm starting to run out. But it's baller.
It's legit one of the best products that I personally use just in general, as opposed to like using supplements and other kind of crazy bullshit that people always tell you to do. Yeah, make sure that you subscribe also to this channel, also to the SoundCloud, which is the Heel Hook, and as well to iTunes, which is the Heel Hook. If you missed any of this, this will be on within the next 24 hours, probably the next 12. So make sure that you head over there so that you can listen to it free will if you've missed anything, or if you just want to go back and listen to me and Eddie talk about politics. Also check out on Twitter, The Heel Hook Show. That's at The Heel Hook Show. You can also find me at Ashley Lamprey, which is ASHLEYLAMPREY. And you can also find me on Snapchat at Just Ash Official. So from me and Eddie, this has been The Heel Hook. Peace up. 8 time down, bitches. We're out.